to my Q&A today. I have a very special guest with me, the lovely Tara St Hill, who is a very dear friend of mine and also dear friend of Corinne Days and also one of Corinne's muses, who Corinne used to photograph. As you may have read in the intro on the blog, tonight is the launch of Corinne's book and new exhibition. So I thought, as a special treat for blog watchers, readers, viewers, I would do a special interview with Tara to give you an insight into her world and how it was being friends with Corinne and also one of Corinne's muses. So, hi Tara. We have our dogs with us as well, so bear with us because they could be all over the place. Okay, so I'm going to go straight into it, Tara. What did you want to be growing up?
A vet.
A vet?
A vet. I was obsessed with animals. Yeah, I wanted to be a vet. I was obsessed with wild animals. And yeah, I wanted to work
in a zoo or something.
And
you have your lovely dog Rudy, who's just walked off actually. But what breed is he?
He's a Boston Terrier. He's 5 years old. Yeah.
Oh, you may see him in a bit. Yeah. Where do you live?
I live in Stoke Newington. I've been there over 15 years. Yeah, I love it.
But you grew up in South London, didn't you?
I was born in Clapham and grew up just off Brixton Hill. So,
right.
Yeah.
But London all your life, really?
All my life, yeah.
And do you like Stoke Newington?
I do. I think it's fantastic. It's changed loads.
Yeah.
It's changed so much recently. But yeah, it's a good place.
If you could change one thing about London, what would it be?
I think it would probably be traffic. I just hate being stuck in traffic in London. Yeah. I think people should walk more. It's nice.
I want the whole of London to be pedestrianised.
Yeah,
That'd be my plan.
I
Okay, so moving on. So you met Corinne through George Clements, who was your then boyfriend. And how old were you then?
I would have been 17. 17.
And how old was George? Same age.
Yeah.
So how did you become friends with Corrie?
Initially, he'd met her and Sarah Murray in Titbet Lido, and Sarah had gone up to him and said, "Corinne takes a picture," and he came home and said, "This woman wants to photograph me. She lives in Soho," and I was like, "No way." I just heard Soho and it's just like, no.
Yes, Corrie used to live in Soho and Brewer Street.
Eventually, he said it was for a magazine called Face. I was curious, and we went and met her. And we went to her flat, and I remember the first time I met her. I remember exactly what she was wearing. She had a long denim skirt to the floor and a little cap sleeve t-shirt, and I loved it. I just remember thinking I would make that when I get home. I just wanted one, and we just hit it off. Yeah, we started hanging out. She shot him another couple of times, and we'd hang out before and after, and we just got on really well. And just
so you were into clothes then, weren't you?
In a big way. I loved clothes. I loved making things. So yeah, that sort of was a common ground for us, and we'd go to markets and little vintage shops, and we were out together.
Just kind of gelled, really.
Yeah, really.
I suppose you had clothes in common though, didn't you, as well? As well as George.
Yeah.
The whole sort of loving clothes and that kind of thing became like your common denominator initially.
It's what we did.
Yeah.
We'd meet up and go find
so I obviously hadn't met you then, but I know you had a shaved head at the time, so you were busting a bit of a look. So I really know you more with your curly hair, but it's yeah, I mean, I remember your look being so specific with your shaved head and everything, which looked amazing, and hopefully we'll have a picture of that. Okay, is there anybody you'd like to be if you weren't you?
Patti Smith.
I wish I could write like Patti Smith.
I saw her at a festival a couple of years ago, and she spat while she was singing, and it went on her face, and she didn't wipe it off, and I just remember thinking, she's so cool. I just didn't bother her. I'd be like, and she was just like, whatever.
Yeah.
I just thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, she is pretty
amazing,
cool, right?
Amazing.
So, what are you into right now, music-wise, fashion, food, just generally? What would you, if someone said to you, what's Tara St Hill about right now? What would it be?
Music. I love really old reggae, dancehall, ragga. Always have sort of, my dad's West Indian. I love so many kinds of music, but you know, yeah, I do like a bit of dancehall.
Yeah.
Love cooking, absolutely adore cooking. My
and
daughter,
a good cook, I'll vouch
yeah,
for
I'm
that.
a good cook. My daughter's turned vegetarian, so that's my thing at the moment, trying to make vegetables nice.
How long have you been vegetarian for?
About a year. And I love meat.
Right.
So, I either, if I have guests come over, go all out and get duck breasts and make berry sauce and completely go, right, I've got someone that can eat meat and make a real effort because I don't get to eat it that much. Or just try and make some really nice vegetarian. Yeah.
Is she vegan or just...
No, veggie. But it's hard. Can't do those vegetables all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about art and stuff? Who do you like at the moment?
Who I like at the moment? I met these guys recently. I helped a friend with an exhibition, the DNA Factory. I think they're fantastic. Really, really.
Is that the guys who you were telling me about the Adidas trainer?
Yeah, the Platform 6 thing. And I love their stuff. I think they're fantastic. They do amazing sculptures and artwork. I really like their stuff.
Cool. So what music were you into growing up? I probably should have asked that question the other way around. That probably should have come first. Sorry.
I think the first music I ever heard, you know, you just hear those things in your life and you're like, you stop and it changes you because you didn't know that kind of music existed. And I remember hearing Bob Marley for the first time and being like, wow.
Yeah.
That completely blew my mind. And Lou Reed.
Yeah.
Lou Reed. I remember when I first heard Walking Wild Side back
the first
13. And I remember stealing it from my auntie's record collection. That and the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
And I just, Sweet Jane, you know, just kind of I just didn't know music like that existed.
Yeah.
My mum had things like Mamas and the Puppers, Joni Mitchell, that kind of thing, and I loved that stuff. Really early on, when I was sort of 7 or 8, I was into Motown, and I used to listen to Capital Radio on a Sunday night, and they would do different Motown bands every Sunday, and I'd sit there with my tape recorder, try and miss the break. Pause! And then rewinding it back for about 10 minutes and never quite getting it. But yeah, I loved Motown really early on. I loved it, and I kind of did that thing when Mia got to a certain age, and it's like, it's that kind of music you don't realise exists. And it's funny because she has actually, she loves kind of 50s, 60s music, which is fantastic.
So she's got into it as well.
She's got into it through her own, you know.
And you say your dad's West Indian, full West Indian?
Yeah, he's from Guyana,
Oh, right, and your mum's English?
Irish.
Yeah, cool, good
nice
mix.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to move on to Corinne's book, Diary, which we worked out was in 2000, right, when that came out. So, you featured obviously heavily in the book, and you're on the cover. You know, I know the book was, when it came out, it was quite controversial at the time.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the book then, and how do you feel about it now?
At the time when it came out, it was difficult. I had a young child. Do you know what? Most of the pictures didn't bother me. But there were 2 particular pictures I didn't like, and you know, had kind of said please don't put them in the book, and they were in the book, and that was difficult. Hiding it from my family was tough, which I've managed to do. They haven't seen it.
What, even to now?
Yeah, even to now. Yeah, it was difficult, but yeah, it was a painful time because I was trying to sort my life out and change things about myself, and obviously, you know, people coming up to you going, your book's really cool, and actually trying to get to a point in my life where I was like, that wasn't cool, I need to change.
Yeah. Because you were into the whole traveller scene, weren't you, and the raves and all that kind of thing, and obviously there was lots of drugs and stuff involved in all of that, and Corinne photographed that a lot, and I guess, you know, it's kind of, when you look at it at a later date, it's kind of like, how does it make you feel, because it's a particular time in your life, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I know that you were also going through with your illness with Crohn's disease as well, weren't you? So there was that going on, and it was trying to deal with all of that too. Because you were in hospital. Were you in hospital when the book came out?
I was in treatment for drugs when the book came out. When the actual documentary came out, I was in hospital. Yeah, so that was kind of another hurdle to deal with. Yeah. That was kind of difficult. That was probably more difficult in the book. Just because I didn't know it was going to be on BBC. Yeah. But hello, look at them.
I know.
Oh, bless.
Trying to be friends.
I think now, in hindsight, I wouldn't change a thing. You know, I had an amazing best friend. I had an amazing friendship. Who gets, you know, that kind of opportunity where their life's documented. So looking back on it, I'm like, wow. Yeah. You know, I kind of look at it fondly now. Yeah. Yeah, I'm in a really different place with it, in a really different place, because that, you know, it was my life. You know, it's made me who I am. I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all now. But yeah, at the time it was hard.
And has Mia seen it?
No.
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 Yeah.
It's on the shelf. It used to be hidden away. It's now on the shelf. And she's 15. So I think, you know, she did. I think when the Heaven is Real exhibition came out, I took her to that. And obviously people were coming up to her and talking to her, and she had no idea why they knew her or how they knew her. And that was kind of a bit like... Yeah. So she's kind of... She remembers Corrie, which is amazing, actually. She remembers Corrie, so...
Mia's an amazing girl, though.
Yeah, she's really
she's done you proud, I'd say. And you know, and you should be proud of her too. I think, because she's amazing. She's a really great girl. Okay, so moving on. If you were put on a desert island and you could only have 10 songs, this is my desert island disc question, basically. I've stolen it. What would your 10 songs be that you could have on your iPod?
Okay.
I would say this is a bit like the soundtrack to your life.
Yeah, I think...
And you can explain why if you want to.
Okay, Modern Lovers.
Jonathan Richmond.
I love them, and when I was with George, his mum gave me a cassette and it had the Modern Lovers album on. I absolutely loved it, and oh my god, I played it to death. I still have the cassette. Anything in there, you know, from I'm a Little Aeroplane, Guitar, anything, you know. Brand New Shirt. I just love them all. I love them all. I think they're fantastic. Patti Smith, Horses. I think.
Again, it's quite hard to choose a track from that album, isn't it?
It is. Anything from that album. I love her. And do you know what? It's such a nice thing, because I saw her a couple of years ago, and I got tickets for her around the time that the documentary came out on the BBC, so like, that would be, 2000, something like that. I had to give the tickets away because I was in hospital, and, can you see it? It's in my eye.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Do my bit of hairdressing.
Yeah, thank you.
Go and lie down.
I was in hospital, I had the tickets, and I had to give them away. And my friend phoned me from the Royal Albert Hall and played songs, and it was great. I was like, I'm in hospital. And you're watching Patti Smith, it's not fair. And 2 years ago I got to see her, and I was with my best friend, and she turned around to me and she was like, you know, for everything you've been through, we're here now. And it was amazing because there was a woman in front of us, and she was a grandma with her daughter and her granddaughter, and she was crying, and her daughter couldn't see her crying. And Prue and I just looked at each other, and we were crying. And I've never seen anyone have that effect on people, like en masse.
Wow.
She was just amazing. I love
Did
her.
you? No, I don't think you did. I went to see her with Corinne and Susie.
No, I didn't.
And we went and met her afterwards in Hackney, actually. At, I can't remember the name of the place where it was, but it was amazing. Such an amazing woman to see.
So powerful.
Yeah.
So
Incredible.
I'm trying to think. Next would be Jeff Buckley. Lilac Boy.
What a message.
We like that one. I think Spiritualised, ladies and gentlemen, we're floating in space. I don't know what number I'm on for. The Specials, Message to Rudy. This is why Rudy is called Rudy.
Oh really? You know, that's a special song. Oh wow.
I love them. I go and see them every year since I can remember. I think they're amazing.
Cool.
Who else? Tennyson, Ring the Alarm. Who else? Something, maybe Mercy Star.
Very cute.
Iggy Pop, Untoward. Who else? Maybe Joni Mitchell.
Come on.
Joni Mitchell.
Yeah.
Anything on Blue. I love.
Yeah.
I don't know. Canada or what's that one? Is it A Case of You know that one?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
That one.
Yeah, I know which track you mean. We can run it along the bottom of the screen.
That song, I don't know what number I'm on.
It's probably there right now, actually. Joni Mitchell.
Yeah. So what have we got? Patti Smith, Iggy, Spiritualised, Jeff Buckley, Lou Reed, Walk on the Wild Side of Sweet Jane.
I don't know, I've lost count actually. 6 or 7.
Okay.
Don't worry if you can't think of any more.
I would think probably I love Damien Marley. Welcome to Jamrock or something like that. I think he's amazing. Really, really talented. And then some old ska, maybe Prince Buster.
Selector?
I love Selector. I got kicked out of a Selector gig for fighting. And Paulina came and got me back in.
Did she?
Yeah.
How old were you?
It weren't that long ago.
Oh, right.
It was probably in the last decade. In the last decade. No,
just remember because you and I talked about Selector before.
Yeah.
Because they're from Birmingham, aren't they?
Yeah, it's Desmond Decker and Selector, and I love them both. Gregory Isaac's Night Nurse.
Oh yeah.
All day long.
Yeah.
Love. Barrington Levy.
Oh yeah.
Love. Marcy Griffiths. Love.
All those old dance halls.
Man.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Totally.
Okay. Moving on. If you could live anywhere besides where you are, where would it be? I'd say by the choice of your music, maybe Jamaica.
Yeah, Barbados. My grandfather's Asian. Maybe Barbados. Or Jamaica.
Yeah. Okay. Mastermind is an iconic British TV quiz show where part of the quiz on yourself is that you have a specialised subject. What would your specialised subject be?
If you're on the show, of
If
course.
I was on the show, photography of Corrie Day. I seem to have, yeah. I know.
Feel like
I feel like a bit of a,
a bit of a connoisseur on Corrie's work.
Now, after the book.
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, because that leads into the next question a little bit too, because you know, I know you played an integral part in helping Corinne's husband Mark put the new book together, and I just wondered if you could explain what you think this new book is about, is in regards to you know, the images that have been chosen, and you know, the title of the book, things like that. What do you think it sort of depicts as her work? Because it's been a book that's been a long time coming, really, hasn't it?
No, absolutely, absolutely. When I first saw the initial edit, I said to Mark, I was like, it's okay, but I just felt there was stuff missing, there could be loads more to it, and he kind of put forward the challenge and was like, well, come on then, let's do it. If you think it could be better, let's go through the archive. And I was like, game on.
Yeah,
let's
because it's a big archive.
It's thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures, and we took it upon ourselves. We'd go into the gallery, to the archive a couple of times a week, and we went through every picture, and ended up with over 1,000 pictures. And what I thought, I mean, the diary was a diary, but it was of a certain time, and it only depicted certain things that were going on. For me, it was, you know, if there's black and white, it was, you know, black. And there was grey, you know, we weren't some crazy, debauched heathens that didn't know how to live. There was a lot of love, there was a lot of fun, there was a lot of laughter, you know, and we did get caned, but, you know, there was both sides of it going on, and I felt the diary didn't depict that. And for me, you know, that the new book was sort of like a gift in a way. It was an opportunity to show the other side of what was going on for us and our friendships and our lives. And I think, you know, if you smush the two books together, that was the 90s, that's, you know, that was what was going on, in a more sort of balanced outlook. So yeah, I suppose I feel really blessed to sort of, I've had the opportunity, you know, because she just had so many amazing pictures, you know, and some beautiful moments, and actually to be able to look through, and even pictures from the diary, to work out how the hell she got them pictures, because I didn't know, you know, and even just to be able to see that stuff and how those pictures came about, actually. So I think the new book, you know, it's a celebration of life. That's what
it feels to me
friendships.
like it covers a lot more of her friendships, and like you say, like it's a much broader sort of what's the word, perspective of that. Do you know what I mean? Because I think, like you say, diary was so specific, and there was, I feel like there was so much more to Corinne than that as a photographer.
And I really get why she did diary, because you know, that was her first book, and she really wanted to be seen as an art photographer, and maybe, you know, it's a lack of confidence even, you know, because those pictures were shocking and they were beautiful, you know, and they were going to catch people's attention, you know, but she also took these pictures, and they're just as important, you know, they're just as important, and maybe, you know, if she had, you know, been around to do another book, she, you know, would have, you know, gained that belief in her and, you know, what she does. And
I mean, I think, you know, even when I saw it, at the point that I saw it at, which is when it was pretty close to being finished, and, you know, Mark asked for my opinion on it and stuff, I mean, I feel like it's a book that she would have probably wanted to produce herself at this stage. That's how I felt. You know, I mean, obviously I gave my opinions, and and I know, you know, your opinions were, you know, invaluable really for Mark because of how close you worked with him on it and stuff. And then, you know, obviously there's a couple of other people have been involved as well, haven't there?
Yeah.
Not the dogs, although they'd like to. But Donald as well, and Paul Drummond as well too. Yeah. And I think what's great is that, you know, everyone, even though we've all come in at different times, that we've all been a part of Corrie's life.
Well, we were all, it was that circle of friends. They were people she loved and respected.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, it's perfect. You know, the book's called Circle Remain Unbroken, and it was just that moment, you know, in the office, you know, where it was, well, I think we were on the roof, weren't we?
Yeah.
And I got a bit emotional. But it was just like, that's perfect. It just...
It sums it up, doesn't it? Really?
You know, that we all sort of came back together to do this for her, and you know, even though she's not here, she's still got that power to get us all together and you know, work as a team. You know,
totally.
it's lovely.
Yeah. Okay. Basti, you're training on my questions.
She got the questions, Buster.
So it's screwed up now. What's next for Tarasen Hill?
Well, I've been taking photographs, which I've been really enjoying. That's kind of a little kind of...
Buster's approving of that, look, he's like,
So yeah, I've done a few little projects with some friends and sort of, getting to know what I like, you know, getting to know what I like, as far as pictures I like taking, doing a bit of styling again.
I was going to say, what about styling?
Yeah, I kind of...
in your strong thing,
when the diary came out, I sort of pulled back from the styling and working because it was just difficult and I suppose at that point I just wanted to get away, and it was the one thing that always pulled me back is the situation.
Yeah.
And although it was kind of detrimental to me, it just felt like what I needed to do at the time. But, you know, I'm a creative person and I need to do that. You know, I need to work and, you know, I've kind of realised, you know, I've got a lot of unfinished business as far as my styling. So,
yeah, I think you've got loads of unfinished business. Because, I mean, there's you know, because I've worked with so many stylists over the years and I've worked with you too on certain things when you've been around, and it was, you know, your talent is, you know, it's definitely there, and I think it's one of your fortes, isn't it, really? Like you say, I think you're just a creative person in general.
It's difficult because, and it's sort of the really big thing, it's not the styling, but it's that whole Corinne's left, because I was always I was young, you know, and I was always like, I just want to work with Corrie. I didn't see the bigger picture because I loved what we did so much, but I didn't get the whole climbing and working your way through the industry. I just wanted to work with Corrie, and I was very innocent in that. And, you know, I worked with Donald as well, which, you know, is amazing, it's fantastic. But just trying to actually, when I think, you know, who could I work with, who, you know, that's going to be the challenge, is to kind of find someone that I can have that connection with and do that kind of work with. You know, and I hope I do. I know there'll be someone out there.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
That's going to be, you know,
definitely
exciting.
Okay. Who or what makes you laugh?
Who makes me laugh? My daughter.
I was going to say that you mean.
She's so funny.
Yeah,
definitely.
Who's your favourite designers that you would wear?
Oh wow.
I know you're a big Corinne fan, aren't you?
I love Corinne. I love Corinne.
Did you love his show this season? Did you see it?
God.
I have to say, I thought it was genius.
Amazing.
I thought it was amazing. I loved it.
Absolutely amazing. Really. It's like life affirming, isn't it? Just watching something like that. It's amazing. I love Ashish. I love Gimpel, really do. There's so many, but Katie Z, love. Really good.
Cool. So, Tara, you're packing to go on a trip for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right now, and you can take 5 films with you. What would they be?
Okay. True Romance, because it's my all-time favourite film. I love it. I love it. It was so funny, that film. I didn't realise what an impact it had on my actual stylistic me, and watched it years later, watched it again, and looked at photographs of myself, and unwittingly, there are entire outfits that I wear because of that film. Red hoodie with a leopard print coat, just things I hadn't even realised, and watched the film again, and I was like, oh, you know, damn. Okay, so yeah, I love that film. I love it. Another one would probably Kaboom. Bridesmaids, it's so funny. I
that film made me laugh so much.
Threw up a little bit, I fell off my chair.
Weirdly though, I know people don't like it. And I don't know why, but I think it's a real
that
divide.
bit when she's going across the zebra crossing and she shits herself. Please.
I thought it was the most brilliant
genius.
comedy film written in such a long time.
Really funny.
I loved it.
Probably. Do you know what? I watched Kill Bill 2 the other night.
Yeah.
It's
a great film.
I still love it. And
Funny you say that.
watch it again and again.
Yeah, I know, I could too.
I
I just
really
watched
can.
Daryl Hannah on Through the Keyhole.
What's her house
She lives in a really like little hippie like house in outside of LA. Yeah, nobody realised it was her until they saw the samurai sword, because she'd got the sword that she practiced with. But it's literally like the bath outside, the kitchen is a barbecue outside. Yet completely nothing like you would imagine from her whatsoever. She does not live the Hollywood lifestyle at all. It's completely all outdoors in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it was amazing actually. Watch it on ITV player. Because you'll be like, wow, I can't believe that's her house.
That's amazing. You think, I would probably, I like Buffalo 66 a lot.
Yeah. I like that film.
Yeah. And what's that one with the Canadian woman? Is it Fargo?
Fargo.
How are we doing?
Is that the Coen brothers film?
Yeah.
I love that film. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I really bad impression, but at the end, I love that film.
It was in they weren't Canadian, were they? They were just in a weird like Midwest.
Yeah, it's like really weird.
America, yeah.
Fantastic.
Well, the place was called Fargo, wasn't it? I don't know where. I can't remember where it is, but yeah, really, they've got strange really sort of accent. Yeah. No, I love that film. Brilliant. Okay. What's your favourite dessert?
Ooh.
And I know you like desserts because we've eaten it.
I love desserts. It would either be, and oh my god, there's Ottolenghi passion fruit tarts with the meringue top. I made those once and forgot to put, my first ever meringue and forgot to put sugar in them. My brother and sister over for dinner. About midnight, I sat up, bolt upright in bed, and I was like, no sugar. It was so nice, but you know, you just couldn't. Something about 4 hours later, I was like, it was the sugar in the meringue. I forgot to put it in. So happy, so proud of my cakes. They're amazing, but no sugar. So one of those. I love banoffee pie. Or
I'm with you on that one. Which I make
amazing.
really well.
I must make for you. It's a chocolate key lime pie. The base is crushed bourbon biscuits, and you chill them, and then you get lime and condensed milk, and I think it's an egg. But then you just bake it on the chocolate biscuit base. Beautiful, really nice.
Because key lime pie is another one of my favourites.
Yes, it's a chocolate base. It's a whole other.
Nice. So, if you would be an animal, what would you like to be? If you could be an animal.
What would it be? Probably my dog. Yeah, a dog.
If you were, you'd be lying on my foot right now. You know?
So lovely, aren't they? They're just the best.
They are the best. Bless them. We've done a swap. We've done a dog swap. What's your guilty pleasure? I'll tell you what mine is afterwards.
Oh no! What's my guilty pleasure? It would probably be sort of early 90s hardcore.
Right.
That kind of really early rave.
Yeah. Do you know what my guilty pleasure is? Shopping at Uniqlo. I've got a thing about
Uniqlo. I just love it. I don't know why, but yeah, I've decided that's my guilty pleasure.
Every colour.
Yeah,
everything.
all the colours. Just everything's just so brilliant. I don't know why it is, but it doesn't cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just love the fact that it's inexpensive and it's kind of. But yeah, and trainers is my other guilty pleasure. I love buying trainers.
Do you know what? I finally hunted down an old pair of travel books. Finally, I had a pair.
eBay.
No way.
That's a guilty pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
I had a pair and they got stolen. A reptile print pair of travel fox, and someone stole them from onto my hospital bed. And I was absolutely mortified. It took me about 15 years to find them. Yeah, and I got a pair. I found a pair.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's my happy
Cool.
moment at the moment.
Okay, 2 more questions. Can you describe yourself in one word?
Silly. Yeah, silly.
That's good. I like that. And then last question, which actually, do we need for the video? Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Actually, the last question was there any product, I think you just answered the question, because it was Travel Fox. Was there any product, clothes, food, cosmetics, or anything that you love that's not available anymore?
Yeah.
So it's Travel Fox.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine was Motu, which is actually our favourite perfume. But
again.
you found, and now it's actually been relaunched, which is
So
fantastic.
happy.
Yeah.
Best.
So,
thank you, Virginia. Heads up.
Right.
Wearing it 20 years later.
I know,
Still.
totally. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, that's it. Thank you, Tara. Oh, thank you. Mwah. Great. Lovely to see you as well. Thanks everyone for watching. See you later. Bye.